Hi, I'm John Fody. Welcome to Woodland School. I'm the principal for the 2020 school year. And today we have a short video that will be comprised of three components. One, I want to take you right through the building so you can be familiar with our school. Two, I want you to meet our staff. And three, I want to discuss our reopening plan. Come on with me right now as we go inside our building. Because of COVID-19, the most important thing this school year will be safety. Safety for the students and safety for our staff. And before we enter these building doors, we need to mask up. We must wear a mask at all times. So as part of the reopening plan, there are 6 safety precautions that we have to be familiar with. The first obviously is masking up at all times. You have to wear a mask at all times. The staff has done a very nice job of allowing for mask breaks for students. So we will use those mask break times at the discretion of the teacher. The second thing that we are going to be cognizant of is hand washing at all times. Whenever you can, we want you to wash your hands. We want you to clean your hands with the sanitizing agents that are in all the classrooms. You'll see some sanitizing agents in the hallways as well. Keep in mind, we also want you to clean the area that you have been working in. It's really important that you do that. We want to keep 6 feet away to the best of our abilities. And also we want to be cognizant of the traffic patterns, always staying to the right as you go up and down the hallways. Now, at our school, it's a little different. We're usually in classrooms with our teachers and our behavior managers, so that should help a little bit. But remember, when you go up and down the stairways, to stay to the right and to do your very best to stay 6 feet away. A big adjustment in terms of safety is drinking fountains. So the traditional water fountain that you're accustomed to using is no longer. We have 2 water filler stations in which you are able to use, but you are responsible for bringing your own bottle from home. You want to mark that bottle any way that you can to make sure you know it's yours. But again, the filler stations are located on the first hallway when we have 2 of them. So as part of our reopening plan, the nurse plays a pivotal role in helping students. Any student experiencing COVID-like symptoms will have to go to the nurse's office, and a nurse will do a complete diagnostic. If the student has any of the symptoms as determined by the nurse, the student will be sent home immediately. Prior to that, they will be sent to our isolation room, and that's for all students that are experiencing COVID-like symptoms to stay while their parent is en route to pick them up. Another additional point is if you are experiencing any COVID-like symptoms, which will be reviewed by your teacher on a daily basis, and you've experienced these things at home, we do not, I repeat, we do not want you to come to school. Simply have your parents call the school and we will document this accordingly. But again, if you are experiencing any COVID-like symptoms, you are not to come to school on that day. As I step into Cheryl Ryan's classroom, you can see how carefully she has planned out her classroom. She has tape on the floors so students know exactly where their desks are supposed to be. She actually has given them their own personal space as well. If you notice, the materials on the desk are for that individual student. They remain theirs. Mrs. Ryan has also carefully made sure that she has proper sanitizing equipment, including the sanitizer and wipes for all students. I would say that this is an A+ job in this classroom in terms of students knowing where they should be and how to exercise proper safety. So I'm standing in the gymnasium at Woodland School, and what I want to do is have you meet our staff.
Hi, my name is Danielle Glia. I'm a school social worker here at Woodland School.
My name is Brandon Barsis. I teach art.
Bob Nather. I'm the phys ed and health teacher at Woodland School.
Hi, I'm Amy Balda, special education teacher for the elementary school at Woodland School.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Gemello. I'm the instructional coach at Woodland School.
Hi, my name is Amy Garcia. I'm one of the school secretaries here at Woodland School.
Hi, my name is Kathy Gurr. I'm one of the nurses at Woodland School.
One word that describes Woodland School for me is accepting.
Energetic.
Life-changing.
Relationships.
Strong.
Friendly.
Nurturing.
Hi, my name is Renee Betts, and I teach the transition program in Woodland.
My name's Christine Mariano, and I teach 9th grade.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Ryan. I teach 7th grade at Woodland.
I'm April Ackroyd. I'm the speech pathologist here at Woodland.
Hi, my name is Corey Smith, and I'm a high school teacher here at Woodland School.
I'm Sarah Ekstrom, and I'm a special ed teacher here at Woodland School.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Enamite, and I teach 8th grade.
Hi, my name is Heather Crom, and I'm a special education teacher at Woodland School. I teach middle school. One word that describes Woodland for me is purpose.
Community.
My Woodland word is persistence.
Strength.
Family.
Rapport.
Innovative.
One word that describes Woodland School for me is passionate.
Hi, my name is Alyssa Hovanik. I'm the music teacher.
My name's Megan Spiesman. I'm a school counselor at Woodland School.
My name is Shane Lewin. I'm the behavior analyst at Woodland School.
I am Kathleen Beneteri. I teach Tech Ed Woodshop.
Hi, I'm Margaret Wolf. I'm a special ed teacher. I teach at the high school level at Woodland School.
One word that describes Woodland for me is talented.
Caring.
Home.
Safe.
Nurturing.
I'm Jim Sullivan. I teach 5th and 6th grade special ed, self-contained here at Woodland School.
I'm Jordan Whipple. I'm a special education teacher. Hi, my name is Liz Marinelli, and I'm the secondary school social worker at Woodland.
Hi, my name is Mrs. Lewin. I teach the middle schoolers here, grades 6 to 8th at Woodland School.
Hello, my name's Paul Horvath. I'm a teacher here at Woodland School, and I teach 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders.
One word that describes Woodland for me is resilient.
Flexible.
Relationships.
Compassionate.
One word that describes Woodland School for me is structure.
Hi, I'm Karina Bober, and I teach the transition program at Woodland School.
I'm Stacy Kowalik, school psychologist.
Gail Pollock. I am a special education teacher at Woodland School.
Hi, I'm Jay Marinelli. I teach at Woodland School, 10th through 12th grade.
My name is Charlotte Zacco. I'm one of the new school psychologists.
Hi, I'm Nick Signorello. I teach high school special ed.
One word that describes Woodland for me is community.
Dedication.
Family.
Flexibility.
Exciting.
Responsive.
Well, that's Woodland School. And hopefully you got a good idea about our school and what it has to offer, the teachers that represent this building, and our emphasis this year on safety. Woodland School is a dynamic place. It offers a highly individualized and personalized education, and it's the right school for a lot of kids. I'm Mr. Foti, and I look forward to the reopening and getting back to school.